Oliver has joined me once more for this one because he insisted on doing so. Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom is the 5th film in the Jurassic Park franchise and the 2nd film in Colin Trevorrow's reboot trilogy, which began with Jurassic World. It's directed by J.A. Bayona, and as with all films this year, it stars Chris Pratt, also Bryce Dallas Howard, who is doing her best. And speaking of people on your screen who are doing their best, but still end up kind of boring to watch, please like, comment, and subscribe for more weekly movie reviews. Fallen Kingdom follows Claire and Owen as they return to the now desolate island theme park of dinosaurs that they used to work for, to rescue as many species as they can from coming disaster as the volcanic island erupts. They go on this mission with a bunch of military-looking guys who have different plans for the dinosaurs. Looking back at the first Jurassic World, I expected to enjoy the nostalgia fest that they were guaranteeing me. And it turns out it was very nostalgic, but I hated it. It didn't feel like a finished movie at all. So going into Fallen Kingdom, I sort of expected to hate it. And I kinda liked it. Go figure. It's nowhere near perfect, but it is a huge improvement on the first film, which introduced so many little ideas and arcs that never pay off. Like how this kid that we're following for some reason doesn't love his girlfriend.
I love you.
See you later. Bye. Okay?
Or won't tell her he loves her, and then is checking out a bunch of other girls at the theme park, and then it never comes back. You're not supposed to worry about that anymore. There are dinosaurs on your screen. There's a bunch of little stuff like that in Jurassic World that really annoyed me. And this film doesn't do that. It doesn't feel like the script was thrown around between 12 different writers who couldn't be bothered to pick up the phone and call each other to wrap up each other's writings. So that's the first real pro for Fallen Kingdom. It has character arcs. It really says something about the last movie, that this one having the bare requirements for a story is worth mentioning. And a lot of the character arcs in this movie are decent, but at least one is absolutely identical to a plot arc in Jurassic World. Remember how these two, the mating pair, they were broken up at the beginning of the movie, and then he wants to get back together, but she doesn't really. And then by the end of the film, she realizes that she does want to get back together, so they get back together. Did you like that? I hope you did, because you get to watch it again. These two start off the film broken up, and he kind of wants to get back together, and she doesn't. That's literally where they start the first film. I'm starting this review with the negatives, and then moving on to the positives, and that will sort of simulate the experience I had watching Fallen Kingdom, because I didn't really like it until the second half. -1, editing problems. Much smaller editing problems than Jurassic World, but there still are little problems. There's a double cross scene that left me sort of baffled as to in what way it was a double cross. The two groups involved are at odds following the event, but I was confused as to how the event was even being considered a betrayal. It seemed like a line got cut somewhere that better explained things in that scene. I don't know. Number 2, plot contrivances.
It's Jurassic Park, there are dinosaurs everywhere you look.
I feel pretentious ever saying the word contrivance at all, but that's what we're dealing with here. At least heavily so in the first half of the movie. Like the betrayal moment, which clearly needed to happen to move the plot forward, but isn't set up very well and doesn't happen naturally. I also think there's a big question at the center of this film that is pretty forced and doesn't make a lot of sense. See, the government and the whole world really is having a discussion about whether or not the dinosaurs should be afforded the same protections as other endangered species, and should the government give resources to protect them. Characters like Owen and Claire want to save the dinosaurs because they kind of like them, and that makes sense, that's cool, but a lot of the people on their side of the discussion seem to be arguing they need to save the dinosaurs to save their species, like from extinction. And that's super dumb. Everyone in that world is able to ignore the core concept of Jurassic Park, which is, what if we could unextinct species? In that world, they can unextinct species. No species in that world should actually be considered in danger of extinction, especially species whose DNA they've already got on hard drives. Did nobody Dropbox the DNA information? These are just two of many things in the first act of the film that will sort of make you roll your eyes and be like, I'm just gonna push through this to watch this movie. And that you'll have to just accept. Number 3 is, holy heck, you watch a lot of brutal animal death.
Just don't be afraid, we've got electric kids and they've never felt their always work.
And the movie goes out of its way to call them animals like 5 times, just in case they weren't registering to you as animals. It's in the trailer. Dinosaurs drowning in mass. It's pretty savage. And the whole film is way darker than you think for how marketed to children it is. And now to the positives. Number 1, the whole film is way darker than you think for how marketed to children it is.
I actually like that it's kind of dark. I like dinosaur movies. Dinosaur.
The whole animal suffering and death is, I'm less into that. But there are a lot more dark themes moving into the second and third act of the movie. A lot of the dark ideas that are present in all of the Jurassic Park films are being explored a little bit deeper, and that was interesting to me. The fact that this film is actually asking some slightly deeper ethical questions is refreshing coming from your trashic world. It's not really doing anything that isn't present in the original and excellent Jurassic Park, but it does look at ideas like cloning ethics from a new angle for the franchise. 2, I'm pretty sure there's an almost smart meta idea being discussed in the narrative in this movie.
Dinosaur movies.
Which really tickled my fancy. See, I think that the whole should we just let the island blow up and let the dinosaurs go extinct question that the characters are having in this movie is also a question about whether the studio and old fans of the franchise should just let the franchise go and let it die. There's a few layers of that present in this movie that would be spoilery for me to discuss, so I won't, but I think it's kind of doing what The Last Jedi sloppily did, and it's trying to examine what it means to be carrying on the legacy of a brilliant film, which gave us actual awe and likely won't be ever fully matched. Claire says things like, do you remember the first time you saw a dinosaur? Or a dinosaur movie? And don't you want your kids to grow up being able to see dinosaurs? Or dinosaur movies? So I'm thinking, yeah, they're talking to us. They're like, you remember how dope watching Jurassic Park was for you as a kid? Do you really want us to stop making these and deny your kids the same experience just because they're dumb now? And 3, the ending. It wasn't where I expected it to go. I won't spoil it. I'll just say that I liked it.
Dinosaur movies. Dark dinosaur movies.
Overall, Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom has a contrived and somewhat silly plot, which explores some interesting and new ideas for the franchise, and takes it in a new direction, and sort of redeems a little bit of the giant trash heap of Jurassic World. I give Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom 3 stars. Thank you for watching. You can stay tuned to watch me make fun of Jurassic World a little bit more. Comment and let me know what you thought of the movie, and be sure to subscribe for more weekly movie reviews, and follow me on Instagram if you feel like doing that sort of thing. And keep on being the best you that you can be. And keep on being you, keeping on. I was thinking, for Jurassic World 2, do you know what kids love watching? Absolutely I do. Oh man, I wonder if we're thinking the same thing. On the count of 3, let's say it together. Oh man, that's so silly. Let's do it. 1, 2, 3. Animal suffering. Oh man, we're both so good with kids. Okay, but how are we gonna show it? Because you can't just imply things to kids these days. They gotta see it. Exactly. Like, I'm thinking we pour a little bit of lava on one of them. They'll be like burning, and sure, great opening stuff, but we need to bring the heat as the movie goes on. So what I was thinking, drowning. How about we drown one of them? One of them? 2 of them? How about 50 of them? 50 of them! Yeah! Anyway, I was thinking we burn one alive. I was like, off screen? No, we gotta show it. So like a bad dinosaur. No, it's gotta be like the symbol of purity and nature that everyone already loves. That's what kids want to see burn. Oh man, that is so good. That's why I love you. You love? That's why I love working with you. That's why I love working with you.